So this majority is a good majority, but it's not as high, as big as we expected. Are you disappointed?
No, not at all, because it was expected only in the last week. And you have to remember that a year ago, we were barely a budding party, and we were just about to do our first rally with only a few thousand people. That was exactly a year ago. So the turnout was, not as big as expected, but the result is very, very good for us.
So abstention, as you were mentioning, at 56.6%, the highest on record, really. Is that bad news for democracy, and is it bad news for the legitimacy of Macron's mandate?
I don't think it's about the legitimacy of Macron's mandate. It's about, we just went through a year of really exhausting campaigning, and the French were very tired of the election, and I think that's what they're saying is that stop for the moment. And the traditional parties didn't have time in the month between their defeat and this election to reconstruct a real project. So their electorate really didn't feel like turning out to vote for them because they didn't know what they were voting for.
The far-right wing, Marine Le Pen, and the far-left wing, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, are making their entries to the National Assembly for the first time. Are they going to be strong opposition voices representing those disenchanted voters, those protectionist, anti-EU, anti-borders voters?
Well, they're going to have a very small representation in the parliament, so they will be very vocal, I'm sure, but they will be small. And what you have to see is between the presidential election and this election, their numbers have really gone down. So it's very clearly the French have chosen hope against anger. And that was also a lot of the turnout that came up was that the people of those parties did not come and vote again. They stayed and watched, and they're trying maybe to give the president a chance.
Finally, the labor law reform. This is what everyone is expecting, the business community here in France. We should have the first details at the end of June. Do you expect big protests against this reform?
Personally, I don't think so. I think what's going to happen is that the French are going to give Macron a chance. And so we're going to be able to, I hope, push all those reforms at the beginning of the mandate. That was clearly what he said. He's going to have the parliament work throughout the summer. And I would be very surprised if there were strong protests in the streets, especially in summer.